skills in order to survive in the world, and what kind of skills do they need? It's a long-term problem. It's going to take a while for that to happen, and for a while for it to change. We got very, very comfortable with the way it was, and it's not that way anymore. That we have to adapt to a new reality, and the new reality is people have to work harder. For now, it doesn't necessarily mean that the goods and the services and that used to be won't exist, but it surely does that. When I had a meeting, and just as a perfect example, with a professor from Bethune-Cookman the other day, and she indicated that she asked her senior class, they're all seniors, college seniors, you know, what did you think about this? I forgot her name, the gal that was the American girl in Italy that was arrested. Then what did you think about her? Nobody knew who she was. Amanda Cox. Did she go to school here? Knox. Amanda Knox. Did she go to school here? Well, they're so busy tweeting and texting that they're not paying attention to the world. And I think we have to have a little bit of a reawakening and a reality check. And all, you know, hopefully these kids are going to find out that hard work is going to make it, and they will end up that way. Maybe not all when working. We do have, you know, women are now a major. I know that's my shade too. Zero. Nevertheless, but you know, we also have a whole different society. We have women have 40% of the executive jobs in the United States today, and I don't think they're going to stay home and just iron the way they used to. So thank goodness. And if I could only get mine to get out to work, I could.
All right, thanks, Bill. Mary, I think this question will go to you. It says, does anyone think Deltona Boulevard could be made over downtown area? It's right near Route 4 and Enterprise, a straight way to DeBerry and Orange City. Deltona Boulevard, made into a downtown area. I don't know if you guys want to team up on it, but I addressed it to you as the new Economic Development Director.
Just say yes and sit down.
It's been discussed. Everybody's talked about it. In other words, hey, there's no downtown, there's no central spot in Deltona that we can all gather in one spot and say, here we are. We're at downtown Deltona. It doesn't exist. We were not built that way. Okay, we're cobbled together the way we are, so we're going to exist the way we are. We may never have, in quotes, a downtown like DeLand has, but that's all right too. We're a city. We exist. We're bigger than they are. We have more opportunity than they have. Deltona Boulevard, let's talk about it for a moment to get back to it real quickly. I'm going to watch my numbers there, okay? As a downtown area, no, I really don't see that as a downtown area for our city. I see Deltona Boulevard right now as a backwater, unfortunately. When Saxon Interchange opened, Deltona Boulevard became forgotten. And if you look at Deltona Plaza, our original shopping area here within the city, it sits there empty. Big parking lot, empty buildings. But we are working to do things like that. We just had a request for a call center. And I submitted that Winn-Dixie as a potential call center. And it was sent in by the Department of Economic Development. So we've done that. Prior to that, I had worked with Bright House on fiber optic. In other words, how much will it take to get fiber optic into there? And another company, how much would it cost to run it to all the call center possibilities within the buildings? I've met with the landlord. They've come over from the St. Pete Clearwater area. We've sat down, we've talked. I've got 1 minute left. I'm going to talk faster and faster now. Okay. We're looking at that. We're looking at a medical facility, especially where the little courtyard is up on that end. Okay. There's already a dialysis center there and a couple other medical items in that area, businesses. So we're looking at expanding the medical in that side of it, especially around the courtyard side. And some of the businesses that are there, perhaps we can get those, with the landlord's help, to relocate to another area within the plaza. We don't want to lose them. They can't afford to lose them. The landlord can. Okay? Some businesses won't move. Emerson's not going to move his barber shop. He's second generation there. Okay? But if we can do that, we're also looking right now, one of the big pushes we're having is an educational campus. Bringing in outside universities, the Websters, the Kaisers, that type of thing, to offer the MBAs and the additional associate degrees for our workers who are driving down to Seminole and Orange County. Get them stepped up one more time. Get some, and I'm going to call them, and I apologize, Doctor, vocational schools, career education for our young people, so they can learn different careers and stay within our area. But now it's important. I was talking to someone at the Volusia Manufacturers Association a week or two ago. I said, well, what about if we had a vocational school for machine tools? They said, we've got one. And it's wonderful. The only problem is when we graduate them, they move to Detroit and New York and everything because we don't have it around here for them to get the jobs when we teach them. So we've got to teach our children to be able to fill the good paying jobs in our area. And it's my job to help create those jobs. It's teamwork, though. It's teamwork.
Okay, thank you, Jerry. I'm not sure who this question should go to, but I'm going to try it on you for size, Phil. Daytona State College, and let me say this to you. If it's a question that gets asked and maybe there's some other panelists that can better answer it than the person I directed to, please chime in, hold up your hand and chime in. But this question says, and it's a very relevant one, it's very much along the lines that's already been discussed, it says, Daytona State College has a huge plan for expansion. What role / part will the city of Deltona play? Is that one out of your league, Phil?
I just don't know the answer to that.
Okay, anyone want to try that one? Dr. Smith? You want me to repeat it?
No, I would just give a fairly brief answer that our state colleges want to serve, all of the different areas in which they reside. And I know that Daytona State has tried to place campuses that, are more convenient for the residents of the areas. And of course they do have a new president, Dr. Carol Eaton, and she is reviewing everything about the college and how she can enhance the services that are provided. I know they're looking at locations, they look at their programs to make sure they're serving the needs. So I would believe that certainly that would be an interest of theirs to make sure that they are serving all areas of our county and meeting the needs of the residents, in particular locations.
Thank you, Dr. Smith.
Mike,
yes, please.
that too?
Yeah, please.
Because there is one very narrow subject, and that is mathematics. If you think of how the United States has maintained its lead in productivity over the last 50 years, we've lost our comparative advantage in manufacturing. We've lost our comparative advantage in mining. We've lost our comparative advantage in some services, which are more cheaply produced in the Orient as well. But we've excelled in all the mathematics-based disciplines. We've been the technology leaders. China and Japan rely on the technology that we've developed in order to drive us out of the market in manufacturing. So I would think that if we want to be on the cutting edge, I recognized too late in life that mathematics was the most important subject in school. If I had known when I was young what I know now, I would have been dangerous. I would have studied math. So I think if we could convince Daytona State and any other college around here that wants to, of saying, be an incubator for mathematics education, we will be competing with the countries that are eating our lunch because they saw it before we did. India, Pakistan, Japan, Germany. Those 4 countries are either growing rapidly or have been economic powerhouses for 50 years because their math education is superb. And so if we're going to try something new, why don't we try math education as a specialty for Daytona State?
Okay, thanks, Bert. Anybody else on that? Anybody else want to back at that? Okay, please, Jerry. Go ahead. Thank you.
Very quickly, one of the things that I'm looking at right now, we're talking about, I'm meeting with a group of investors, insurance companies, and we're looking at the potential of putting an assisted living facility, medical complex in Deltona. I've already talked to Deltona State College. If we get the ALF in Deltona, we are an aging population. That's not quite true too. Deltona is a young city and we have a young population. The average age in Deltona is 35 now. You wouldn't know it by looking in my house, okay? But we do have a population that will be needing assisted living in the future. It's part of our national demographics. If we had the assisted living, Deltona State College could align classrooms with it in culinary and nursing for the internships right there on the job. You walk out of your classroom into your intern job. We want restaurants, let's grow our own chefs. We want medical, let's grow our own nurses. Let's plant the seeds right here in Deltona.
Thank you. Again, I don't know who to direct this question to, but it's one that when I sifted through the question, it was one that I thought had merit. And Mr. Russell back in the back. 2 summers ago, Pine Ridge High and Deltona High, in coordination with Bill Young at the Florida Solar Energy Center, received a grant for solar arrays to be used for our emergency shelters in time of need, otherwise being used as learning tools, decreasing the overall power bill of the school.